A ring is a team accomplishment.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what I
many
felt.
reasons.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone, and good morning to you. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. I wanted to check in on Uncut. This wasn't recommended or anything, but it's been a little while since I've checked in on Uncut, and I wanted to see his perspective on this whole ring culture thing, because, man, it's crazy that it's blown up to the level that it has, but here we are, guys. Another LeBron James just podcast bomb where, yeah, it's just... I can't get behind him, man. I just can't get behind him. Anyways, I want to see what Uncut has to say about it. I did a video about this a couple of days ago, and let's see a different perspective. So this video is titled LeBron James is Wrong About Ring Culture. And once again, this is from Uncut Hoops. I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you if you want to check out the channel. You'll also see a list of channel members down there. And speaking of which... I wanted to give a quick shout out to, let's see, we got Aaron Woodard, Ric Raida, TygerClawGaming, and Vernon Lee Warren. Wow, guys, that's a big one for today, guys. Thank you so much, all four of you. I appreciate you all very, very much. It's good to see some friendly faces in here too. Like some of you guys, we've been having basically like a year-and-a-half conversation going, and it's weird to me. I'm a little confused. I'll start this out really quick. Because I'm doing 3 videos right now, it's hard for me to keep up with comments. So like I'm prioritizing members first, then I'm going to subscribers and trying to reply to all of those. Then I go to everyone else, and what I'm finding with everybody else is some of you guys that I'm having like a daily conversation with, I don't think you guys are subscribed, or there's like a glitch in the YouTube system that's showing you guys as not subscribed. Because I swear, like some of you guys, like I've been talking to for a year-and-a-half. So check and see if you're subscribed or not. I'm gonna do my best in the meantime to try and look out for you guys. But I'm telling you, with 3 videos, it's getting harder. So with the memberships and the subscribers, at least like I could put you guys in a category and I can see all of your comments. Anyways, you guys, that out of the way, this actually got sparked with a conversation that happened in the comment section where I was like, you know, I basically just said the exact same thing that I did. I'm like, I don't know why I don't see you in the subscribers. You know, like, what's going on here? Anyways, yeah, so the link is going to be in the description. And guys, everybody, please like this video. I'd appreciate it. Let's do it.
From Dustin Nielsen, why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
A ring is a team accomplishment.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
Yep.
For
That's
so
what
many
I felt.
reasons.
I think he just did it. I think Uncut just did it in a minute. Now, dude, not 1, not 2, not 3.
I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic.
A ring is a team accomplishment.
And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all.
And I was like, you did something special.
And I'm sorry, LeBron fans, this is why. You know, like, I can't not point out the hypocrisy just like Uncut did right there. How can I not? I'm a person, and I don't worship this guy. So, like, it's obvious hypocrisy. Like, just take a step back and just see what we just saw. Hear what we just heard. If this would mean a lot more if it wasn't LeBron James and it was somebody who's got, like, say Dirk Nowitzki, you know what I mean? Who won one, and then afterwards he talked about this. But he wasn't the guy predicting, I'm going to win 8 championships in Miami. You know, oh, that championship right there made me the greatest player of all time. And then in 2020, when winning a ring, now I want my damn respect. Me. So you're going to talk about the team now? I don't think so, buddy, because you never did before. But you're only going to do it when it fits your narrative. And let's be real. The narrative is he can't get 5, he can't get 6. He's giving up. So now he's trying to spin a narrative that the goal he's been chasing all this time doesn't matter at all.
When it comes to modern day NBA players,
There's no single person more obsessed, self-aware, and love of their own legacy more so than LeBron James. As looking at all of his interviews, it's always me, my, a lot of eyes.
Yep.
Talking about his legacy, his greatness, and his standing in NBA history. And look at the Mind the Game podcast, kind of the exact same thing. Alongside Steve Nash, what this podcast is non-stop propaganda, rewriting LeBron's legacy and rewriting the standards of NBA history.
And that's why I like the Michael Jordan style, because even when he was young, all the way till now, whenever he's asked about individual greatness, he always talks about the teams. He even has a commercial about this because he's so adamant about it. You know, he's like, people always ask who's the greatest player of all time. He's like, I prefer to talk about the greatest teams. Then he starts listing off his championship Bulls teams. You know, like that's consistency. If you want to be about the team, be about the team. You should be. It's a team sport. But if you're gonna pump yourself up on an individual level your entire life, and now all of a sudden you're gonna pretend like you didn't do it, I got a problem with that.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
It's not.
I don't know, man. It's just like you sit here and you tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, you know, are fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings.
Yeah, they're in their own category. Great players that never won a ring. And then there's great players that won a ring. There's a reason why, like, for instance, in 2010, a lot of us were rooting for the Dallas Mavericks. You know, there's a lot of guys on that team, Sean Marion, Dirk Nowitzki, Jay Kidd, like all these guys that never won a ring up to this point. And I'll speak for myself. I was hoping they'd get their ring before it's too late. And they did. I feel great. Like, that's awesome. Fantastic for them. Now, the ones who didn't, like Charles Barkley, for instance, he'll be the first one to say it. I'm not in the same conversation with the champions. He knows it. He understands it. This is how it's always been. You know, it doesn't mean that he's not a great player. He's absolutely great. All these guys are fantastic. But there's levels to this shit.
So, stopping that right there, LeBron's overall premise that guys like Iverson, Steve Nash, and Barkley aren't appreciated and recognized as great players, that from the jump is inaccurate. Iverson, despite having 0 championships, is beloved by all NBA fans. Someone like Steve Nash, also very popular, and then Charles Barkley, an iconic legend. To say fans don't know those guys were great players, top 75 guys, that is completely false.
It is.
He's a liar. Now, with that being said, looking at players' legacy, a Hall of Fame level player, all those guys are great players, a baseline level of greatness. But to be one of the greatest ones of all time, what that requires is championships, and most likely multiple championships at that. Mm-hmm. And looking at someone like Charles Barkley, despite being ringless, he understands that because it's common sense.
I'm in the Hall of Fame, but I'm in a different wing than the guys who won the championship. I mean,
still in the Hall of Fame, though.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying, though, Jack, hey, I understand.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
I understand the rules. Like, Charles are great. Karl Malone's great. Patrick Ewing's great. They're not at the table with Magic, Bird, LeBron, Kobe. It's levels to this shit.
No, he said it too.
I ain't mad at that. I understand that.
Okay. I gotta watch that podcast, man. That's not all the smoke. Yeah, okay. I obviously agree with Chuck because I literally said the same thing. Yep. But the thing is Charles has talked about this multiple times. That's why they have that ongoing joke on TNT, or what was TNT or whatever, you know, because Kenny got 2 and Shaq got 4, and they all just kind of pick on Barkley. Yeah, well, how many rings you got? You know? And then Charles could always say to Kenny, yeah, well, I'm in the Hall of Fame and you're not. There's levels to this kind of stuff, you know?
For someone like Barkley right there to be completely honest and open, the championships, they do in fact matter. That takes some big-time guts as a ringless superstar who gets ragged for that constantly. And looking at guys like Stockton, Malone, Ewing, those guys also are great players despite being ringless. But like Charles said, when you're ranking tiers of greatness, those guys aren't at the table with guys like Magic, Bird, Jordan, the upper echelon, the greats of the greats.
Damn, look at AI go.
You
play to win the game.
You don't play to just play it.
One of the biggest crimes in sports nowadays.
I know it's not. This is professional sports, you guys. This isn't like your little toddlers playing soccer for the first time at school with their friends. This is professional. Okay? There's a big freaking difference. There's billions of dollars behind this. So of course we celebrate the greatest of the greatest. Where did sports originate from? Battle simulation. Also, think about the old gladiator days in a Coliseum. You know, there's one winner, there's one loser. The winner gets celebrated. The loser, well, let's not talk about that now.
Is the term ring culture having a negative connotation. As when it comes to quote-unquote ring culture, what that really means is winning culture.
Yes.
For an NBA superstar specifically, winning a championship, reaching the pinnacle of the mountaintop, that since the 50s is what you played for. You didn't play for stats and numbers, the individual glory. What you played for was a pursuit of winning. Now ask yourself, when did that begin changing? I'd say the late 2000s, early 2010s, when a certain player was coming up short on the big stage. And since then, winning's been downplayed, discredited, and been written off as quote-unquote ring culture.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning. You know, the stats that matter to me is the games that we win and the rings that you collect.
Yes. There it is. There it is. Real quick, I just had a flashback. I had a little memory here. Last night, I had a weird dream. I don't know what was going on, but it was NBA on NBC, and it was next year. And I was shocked because I heard Michael Jordan talking in the background, and I'm like, what the hell? Are we already in next season? You know, I'm dreaming. I'm sleeping. And then they're MJ was trying to stay behind the scenes instead of commentate, but he was saying hello to the crew or whatever. And they were like, no, MJ, sit down, sit down, take the mic. And MJ just starts dropping truth bombs. And I know it's a fan. It's not the way it's really going to go down, but damn, man, that was a cool dream.
Changed from player to player. Magic Johnson, obviously, because of his notoriety, and Larry Bird, his notoriety, that we had to get past them, or I had to get past them individually before I gain any credibility or can ever get into their ballpark. I had to win championships. I had to win MVPs. I had to make impacts on my team.
Yep.
So that became a challenge for me.
Yeah. Jordan, even when he was really young, he said it already, what his goals were. He said, I want to be in the conversation with guys like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And he knew what that took. That took winning a lot. And the thing is, when he was young, they weren't done winning. So the bar kept getting raised higher and higher for what his goal was in order to match it. All the way to the point where he had to win a 6th championship to surpass Magic Johnson. But he did it. He set out a goal. He wasn't lying to himself. He wanted what he wanted, and then he went out and did it. And if he didn't do it, he'd be the first to say, well, I tried. Kind of like Kobe did. Kobe sat out. He talked about it before he passed away. I went into the league wanting to be the best there's ever been. I wanted to be better than Jordan. And he said, well, the injuries happened. I landed at 5 rings, so Jordan's still the greatest. This is just what it is, guys. Let's not pretend like this is something new. This ring culture stuff, it's been going on since the Bill Russell days, okay?
Someone like Michael Jordan, who had all the MVPs, stats, individual accolades, what he cared about most was winning championships. And looking at his overall career arc, it was the embodiment of pursuing titles. As he first came to the NBA, an absolute dynamo on fire, scoring 40, 50 points, breaking all types of records. But by the early 90s, reeled it back in to a championship player and a winning player. And even looking at Kobe, the exact same thing. 2006's stats, off the charts, surreal, the best stats in the NBA. But to Kobe, those numbers, they are kinda hollow. At that point, what was his big time goal? Not scoring accolades, total points, but winning championships without Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, I've never heard Kobe once actually talk about the 81-point game. He doesn't talk about it. There's nothing to talk about. What he always did talk about, well, it was winning championships, but then he had an individual goal now. One, obviously, I told you about the Jordan thing, but then a closer goal became, I got to win more than Shaq. So he got 4, and then he got 5, and then he accomplished that goal. He didn't accomplish the supreme goal, which was surpassing Jordan, but he got Shaq. You know, and he knew it. He could score 1,000 points a game. It wasn't going to change anything. He needed to win more championships than Shaq did in order to win this battle. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you don't like hearing it, but like this is just the truth. It's always been the truth. If there's some young people in here right now listening, guys, this is nothing new. Just because LeBron says it's something new, it's not new. This has been going on since before I was born.
And it was all said and done, he sacrificed, took a step back, and ultimately did that in 2009 and 2010.
When Shaq leaves, you can't win. I said, oh shit, yes I can.
You proved them wrong. You proved them wrong, Playboy.
Hold on. I want to really listen to this. I've never seen this before.
He sacrificed, took a step back, and ultimately did that in 2009 and 2010.
Sorry.
When Shaq leaves, you can't win. I said, oh shit, yes I can.
You proved them wrong. You proved them wrong, Playboy.
That happened. That became my motivation. That became my passion, and I was obsessed with it. And here we go.
Okay, well, once again, there it is.
We know what it means as a team, but what about individually for you?
Just got one more to Shaq.
Yep.
When you contrast guys like Kobe and Jordan, LeBron James, the stark difference becomes very, very apparent. As LeBron nowadays is the only big-time major athlete who downplays winning with a pejorative of ring culture. And here's the bizarre thing. LeBron in the past has not done this. What is LeBron's crowning achievement that to him made him the GOAT? Was it his points, longevity, total stat numbers, even his game winners? No. His crowning achievement was that one singular championship in 2016.
Do it.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
There it is.
That's what I felt. I was super, super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic.
A ring is a team accomplishment.
And then,
Guys, what a video.
and after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Not the greatest team of all time. Made you the greatest of all time. Can't make it up.
I was discussed so much in our sport and why it's the all be all.
And I was
Well,
like,
what's the point of playing other than making a bunch of money then? If it's not about winning, and that's the problem that us fans have, by the way, with the modern game. See, if you want an entertaining product for the fans, then you need a bunch of professional athletes willing to do crazy things in order to win. It's like any other game, any other like game show, any competition. You want to see the best of the best battle it out for the ultimate achievement. Okay? That makes good entertainment for us because we know you're giving it your all. So if championships don't matter, why do we have the playoffs? Why not just have one long season? And let's just not even count wins and losses then. Let's just give everybody a participation trophy at the end of the year and say, good season, good season. Why don't we just do that instead?
you did something special.
It's pretty obvious LeBron James, he wants it both ways. When he wins, it's LeBron accomplishment to boost himself up, a lot of me's, I's, my legacy, my championship. It's all about LeBron James. Now when LeBron loses, it's the exact opposite. All of a sudden winning championships, it's a team accomplishment and a team failure. And ring culture is the worst thing in sports.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
And let's clarify something very, very quickly. When it comes to winning championships, the credit for those titles isn't given out equally. Look at someone like Steve Kerr, a multi-time champion, a journeyman, and a very good role player who hit timely shots. Steve Kerr having a ton of championship rings, I'm not gonna say he's better than Charles Barkley, who was an NBA superstar on #1 offense.
Yeah, it seems so silly that we have to explain things like this. Let me make it very easy for you all, because I've said this so many times now. First, you need to be the best player on the team. Then, you need to prove that you're a good leader by bringing that team to the championship and winning it. Okay? That proves you that you're a great individual player and you're a great leader. Because when you're on top of the team, you're the guy on that team, the man. You can lead them to, well, the top of the freaking mountain. That's what it is. Okay? So no, we're not talking Robert Horry. We're not talking Steve Kerr. You know, they're in a different kind of category of their own. But when we're talking about the greatest players of all time, yeah, you have to prove that you're a good leader too. Or else, then if it's not that, then Wilt Chamberlain's the obvious greatest player of all time. It's not about anybody else. It's just about Wilt Chamberlain. Look at his stats. So if it's just about being an individually good player and not about winning, okay, it's Wilt, hands down. It's not LeBron James, you guys. So like this won't work in his favor. It's gonna be Wilt.
That makes zero sense. For people with LeBron and James minds to say championships is purely a team accomplishment, they're being highly disingenuous. And they say guys like Robert Horry, you know, he has 7 rings, Jordan has 6, is Horry better? Those arguments are straw man arguments.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of children. You know, like I could just imagine it's just like a bunch of kids on social media bringing that kind of stuff up.
We're comparing championship players versus non-championship players. What we're comparing is a top tier 1% of players. Thank you!
Yeah, you got to be the bus driver, and then where did you take that team as the bus driver?
And looking at LeBron's own career in South Beach, Cleveland, and Los Angeles, what's he been pursuing the entire time? Not just more help, but also championships.
Yeah, if championships didn't matter, why did he leave Cleveland? And then if championships didn't matter, then why did he leave Miami back to Cleveland with two new number 1 picks? And if championships didn't matter, why did he leave Cleveland again?
If championships don't really matter, ring culture sucks, why play into it? Why have Kyrie and Love, Wade and Bosh, and then Anthony Davis? Why have that? Just play basketball, have fun, a good old time with the fellas.
To win championships. Not 1, championships.
Not 2.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
Did Pat Riley drop the rings on the table during his meeting with you also? Or of course he did. Oh, that's cool as hell.
For someone like Pat Riley getting Chris Bosh and LeBron James, his one big time selling point was championships and those 9 rings he already had. For LeBron back then, he understood that. And even in 2016, understood it fairly well. After that championship, what did he say over and over again? Who he is chasing is the ghost that played in Chicago.
What do you mean by that?
It's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Yeah, he's got 2 rings, by the way, and he's in the same room with his brother Eli. And it's different though. It's so weird because Eli, like I'm a big Giants fan, so like Eli's my guy, and he won 2 of the toughest championships I can imagine, both times against this guy right here, Mr. Brady. And the second time he did it was during his perfect season, undefeated season. These guys were absolute monsters. It's when they had Randy Moss, guys. They were unbeatable. But anyways, Eli beat him twice, 2 Super Bowls. But then on an individual level, who's better? It's Peyton. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But like they're more in that category. I'm sorry. Yeah, you got to get like 5 rings to be in the category of Brady. And you're talking, I'm a Brady hater. I never liked Brady. But obviously the guy got it done 7 times. He brought his team to the top, I think, 11 times? And he won 7 of them? Yeah, I'm sorry. You're the GOAT. You win. You know, I could talk about how much I love Peyton or Eli or Dan Marino or Elway or any of these other guys. But they're not in the same category anymore, even though I want them to be because, you know, I prefer them.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time. Or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. So. You can't sit here and tell me that he's not the greatest baseball player to ever touch a bat.
I mean, didn't Barry Bonds, wasn't he using PEDs though? You know, along with like Mark McGwire and who was it, Sammy Sosa and you know, Jose Canseco and all those guys. So there's a difference. I don't know about you guys. I praised Barry Bonds a lot more until like the controversy, and then I was like, damn, man, such a good player, you know, such a good hitter. I wish he didn't do that.
So stopping that right there, LeBron James, going cross-sports comparison, looking at the NFL as well as MLB. And this right here, the dumbest thing you could possibly do. As looking at both the sports compared to basketball, it couldn't be more different. For an NBA roster of 15 guys on a team, 5 guys on the court playing offense and defense. In the NFL, it's upwards of 50, 11 on 11, offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, the pressure in football, in American football, lies on the quarterback because that's basically the captain. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He drives the entire offense. You can't get away from it. It's a very unique sport. Baseball, that responsibility is going on to the pitchers, and that's who are celebrated the most usually in that sport. And what is it in basketball? It's the guy who can score the most points, have the most impact on the game. And, they have to play both sides of the ball there. So it's the one who can have the most impact on the game. That's why a guy like Michael Jordan makes so much sense, because he was the best on offense and usually he was the best on defense as well. And most importantly, they won a lot.
Unless you're Travis Hunter, you're not playing both ways. So the cross-sport comparison with basketball, football, and baseball really makes no sense.
He's an idiot. Don't listen to this. He's an idiot.
At the end of the day, the entire ring culture discussion comes back to one thing and one thing only. LeBron James wanted to be the GOAT over Michael Jordan.
He tried.
That's what it's about, plain and simple. Everyone knows it. Why he's downplaying championships is because Jordan has more. It's that simple. And again, rings aren't the end-all be-all, but they're a big-time component to being a great player and the greatest player who ever lived. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, another great video by Uncut. I agree with everything you say here, man. Let's just... When it comes to LeBron, you got to think of it like it's a politician, right? So what is LeBron really trying to do here? Let's just cut through the fat and go right for it. LeBron tried. He really did. I don't know why he's so obsessed with being the greatest of all time, but he is obviously obsessed. He talks about it all the time. He labels himself that instead of letting others do it. It is what it is. It's not a very appealing trait, but it is what it is. So he tried. He tried really hard, and he just didn't get there. Just like Kobe. Kobe tried really hard, just didn't get there. I'm sure Wilt Chamberlain tried really hard to win more championships than Bill Russell. It just didn't happen. That's okay. It's cool that you tried. We'd respect you a lot more for trying and coming close than what this nonsense has become, which is you tried, you came close, and now you're trying to convince us that even though you didn't get there, you actually did. That's what the problem with all this is. It's, I don't know about you guys. If I lose a game, I lose a game. I go, yep, good game. Yep, good game to the victor. I lost. Now I got to get better. That's how life is supposed to work. You're not supposed to have this participation trophy mentality of, well, I lost by 40 today, but it's okay. I still got my trophy. Looky here. No, this messes with the psyche. And without that drive to constantly improve, greatness does not exist anymore. Because define greatness if everybody's great. Everybody can't be great, guys. There has to be levels and there has to be tiers to this stuff. It's like everybody shows up to work every day and does their job. Does that mean that they're rich? No. Only a certain subgroup of people end up being rich because of it. Does it mean they're working harder? I don't freaking know. But I'm just saying there's levels to all of this stuff. We can't all be treated the same when it comes to our accomplishments. We should be treated equal and fairly when it comes to the opportunities that are presented to us. 100%. We should all have a free or an equal opportunity system, and everybody has a shot to get in and show what they're worth. Now, that's where the equal opportunity ends. Now it's up to what you're gonna do with this opportunity, how far you're gonna take it, and then based off of what you accomplish, that's what we celebrate, okay? If you become great in whatever it is that you do, you'll be celebrated. If you took the opportunity and then you were lazy and you didn't even care, and then eventually, like a couple years later, you end up fired or whatever, you're not getting celebrated, man. Sorry, you had your shot. So anyways, you guys, I see this as bigger than basketball. I see this as like a society shift, and I'm not a real fan of it. You know, it doesn't mean shame the person who loses, but it also doesn't mean treat the person who loses as though they won. That takes the point away of the game. That takes the point away from hard work, dedication, drive, and well, if that's the case, then like I said, we might as well not have a playoffs, no more tournaments, no more giving out awards, no MVPs, you know, no champion trophy, no finals MVP. Take away all of that crap then, because everyone, all you had to do is get to the NBA, then you made it, you know, because you're already one of the best in the world, right? Shouldn't you all be celebrated? Where does it end? Where does it end? Guys, I'm out of here. Like the vid if you haven't done it yet. Go check out Uncut if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Leave your comments down below, you guys. And remember, if you're not subscribed, I'll do my best to find you guys, but it's getting harder. But anyways, I appreciate you all. Shout out to members. I really appreciate you guys. And most importantly, be water, my friends. Don't be full of shit like these guys.